Hello, hello. It's a rainy Sunday. We haven't had rain for weeks and we're on the edge of drought. And this is such a welcome rain for a number of reasons. But to have a day of rain, you know, we get that so often that after a while it gets really old and we're really tired of it. And when it goes for a long time and we get one, it's just like a blessing. It's just wonderful. So we have a rainy Sunday afternoon going. Be perfect day for a nap. There's only one problem. Not because I have to stream. I'm not sleepy, but it's a perfect nap day, let me tell you. I have been so busy today, and if you go check out my Discord, you'll see that I have been working in the kitchen, and I'll talk all about it while I'm spinning. My very, very first problem is I have no empty bobbins left anywhere except the Aura, which I can't use. And the Ashford, I have two bobbins for the Ashford, and I'm having a lot of trouble with the Ashford. The Ashford is single treadle. I do put both of my feet on there, but it is really bothering my right knee. Even though I've had the knee surgery on it, it's bothering the muscles of that knee. So I've put it up. I'm not going to use it anymore during the tour. Anyway, I may use it periodically because I did discover how nice it was to spin on that Ashford. It has the lace flyer, it has the woolly winder. I mean, it's wonderful to spin on, but it's difficult to treadle. And I'm sorry that that's true because it may be that I won't ever use it that much anymore. Just depends. I may have overdone during the tour, and periodically is okay. We'll see. Um, I won't get rid of it. It's the very first spinning wheel I ever got. I got it back like 79 or 80, and I've had it forever. I've toted it all over the country as I've moved and everything, so I'm not going to ever get rid of it. But my Roberta bobbins are all full, and fortunately, four of the six are full with yarn that's already plied. I need to skein them off. So that's the very first thing I'm going to do is um, skein off two of those bobbins, which means I got to do a little bit of counting, winding and counting. So anyway, that's all right. It's just that I have one more week. The tour ends. Hi, Kay. The tour ends a week from today. One more week. And I kind of hit this point where, other than really big spins, I don't have anything little left except one braid that I'm going to do today. I got it back here. This is 1 ounce. It's I don't know if I'm going to say it right. Manos de Uruguay. Oops, camera, where are you? Purple blues. Merino. Somewhat compacted, right? It's a problem child. But I'm going to work with this today after I get two bobbins cleared for the finish this up. One of my last little spins. If you take a look behind my shoulder, that way, see that? See that great big? That is 8 ounces, but it is like, at least I think it's 8 ounces. Maybe it's a whole pound. It might be a whole pound. I bought that at the most recent fiber fair that I went to, and it's a gorgeous color, and it's all fluffy, and I can't wait to spin it, but I want big bobbins, right? Um, I messed myself up as far as that goes because hubby's plan was to work. He knew it was going to rain. We knew we were going to have a day inside today, and his plan was to work on my Aura today. And I just had to do the peaches. I had to can the peaches because they were like, I'm not going to wait another day, right? Point. And he, fortunately, I just don't have the stamina that I used to. Canning when I was gardening was no big deal and all that. So I'm very lucky that now that I don't have all of that ability anymore to be on my feet, I have a husband who is very willing to help me, and we get it done twice as fast, right? I don't have to do the whole thing by myself. Those were pint jars, by the way. 2 peaches cut up per pint jar. Seems hardly worth the effort after years and years and years of putting up quart jars of stuff from the garden in copious amounts, right? Tomatoes and green beans and things like that. But I bought, I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. Found some cool music. It's an acoustic guitar. I like it, but I feel like I'm shouting. Okay, so I bought from the Peach Truck. And if you look this up on Google, this is the thing. They go from Georgia all over the eastern United States with the semi. It's got Peach Truck written all over the side of it. In fact, I have pictures. Maybe I'll post those on Discord. It's kind of fun. But it comes in a big box and counted up, probably 62 peaches, something like that. And I split them with my daughter. They are amazing. They were perfect. There wasn't a bad one in there. They were hard. They were ripe, but they were hard. And they said, put these out for 2 to 3 days on your counter. And that's exactly what it was, because I picked them up on Wednesday afternoon, right? And they were just perfect. They were perfect and juicy and sweet. So that, that took precedence over getting my Ara fixed. Sadly, I hope that he wakes up with the same incentive tomorrow morning, because I really would love to have that big bobbins again. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to stay on this because I'm going to do this scanning first. This is what I'm going to skein. This is the second color of the, this is Corriedale. I've done a brown Shetland dyed with walnut dye. This is Corriedale dyed with walnut dye. And then after that, I have 21 bats of a Rambouillet that was dyed with walnut dye. Those are the 3 for my sweater spin. So big bobbins or not, tomorrow I'm going to have to start spinning that Rambouillet because I want to get that done in this next week. In the meantime, I have a lot of bobbins to clear and a little bit of ply-in to do, and then if I have a little extra time, I'll work on that ounce of fiber. So forgive me, I'm going to be counting here for a little bit. I don't know if I want to put it on my, I'm not sure where I want to put it. This is what I spun yesterday. Look at this. Oh, the light is terrible here. Christmas green. Oh, it's such pretty Christmas green. I'll show you that under the other camera. So, Kay, how are you? How is your weekend been? All right, so we're scanning. I have 2 bobbins, but I'll probably tie them together and put them on this one 2-yard skein. I'll see how it goes. Black walnut dyed Corriedale. Wrong end. Let me get going here. Right end. All right, I'm gonna sit with my side to you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I'm going to check my wraps per inch. I'm at 25 there. I can find my tool. Yeah. I used to have a piece of tape on my bobbins. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this is a little thicker than my, unfortunately, this is a little thicker. It's 10. I'm not sure how that's going to work when I try to make it all one sweater. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, I used to have a piece of tape on each bobbin, but it finally wore off and I finally gave up trying to keep it on there. All right, that was 25. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, just almost 36. That's 70 yards. I'm going to go ahead making these small skeins instead of one big thick one. So I'm going to tie these. Oh, good thing my monitor doesn't turn off my computer. I just hit the off button. You guys went blank. You went black. So what happens is each of the different types of fiber, like the difference between the Shetland and the Corriedale, Shetland being a longer stapled fiber, Corriedale being, a shorter. When I make bats out of them, they spin differently. And even though I, try to draft everything, I am not real successful at getting them exact wraps per inch. I was checking it against my wraps per inch tool thing for the single, but still, It just doesn't always work what that says either. All right. It says skein 1. But I spent the entire day yesterday plying. Now I was house cleaning too. So I would, you know, do some house cleaning and then come back and sit and ply for a while. So it broke it up. I also was watching one of the, actually, I watched two of the tours that I had taped. Watched the one that happened, I think, on Sunday. And they were in the mountains. Was really, that was the challenge day. But they also had protesters, which I had not heard about. I was surprised I hadn't heard that on the news. That stopped the race completely. They were in the road, right? And they had to stop the race and let the police get the protesters off the road, and then they had to figure out where everybody was and start them the same way, same time spacing. What a mess. What a mess. But, you know, the race went on and finally ended. All right, counting again. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. That's 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41 and a half. Oh no, 42. 42. It's 84 yards. There's a like 4-yard bit to this that is the end of one bobbin, kind of like a what I always call the swatch skein. I think I'm going to go to some of the more active, like maybe snoring cats or yeah, and ask if people still do canning. It, you know, it's used to be every summer. I mean, that was just part of my life, no matter where I lived. Wasn't just living here. I don't know how much people do it still. I'm curious. All right, this is Walnut Dyed Corriedale. I forgot to write my 2022 on that last one. It's not that one. It's this one. All right. Okay, so that empties 2 bobbins. There's 2 more bobbins. And there's 2 more bobbins. Uh-oh. I'm thinking I may have to skein more off. The next one is, I should just go ahead and do it. It needs done. The next one is what I spun on the Ashford, and there is a lot of 2-ply. I wasn't going to do it on stream. Well, what I could do, if I apply these, if I apply my Christmas green, which is small, it'll play up real fast. if I can find the end. There they are. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. Well, it's nice because jam is a pretty small batch thing as far as cost of fruit and stuff, or you're more apt to maybe be given enough for batch of jam. I My daughter does a lot. In fact, her half of the peaches she's doing a peach salsa and a peach barbecue sauce. She is not canning peaches. Um, and she better not beg any of the ones I did. Just kidding. But the neither hubby or I eat much jelly or jam. We're not bread biscuit eaters to begin with, although I love them. I don't because of my weight, and he's not real fond of it. Um, and peanut butter and jelly, he wants grape, I want strawberry. If I have English muffins, I want a peach or, you know, the strawberry. We have very limited. And I made a ton of apple butter over the years, and we're still kind of working through some of that because we do have still one apple tree that will give us apples, but they're not. I can do applesauce. He's, again, I'm the one that eats a little bit of it, but he doesn't eat a whole lot. But he likes apple butter a lot. So the apple butter he's more apt to put on with his peanut butter and jelly than anything. Oh, wait, I'm flying. I want to go the other way. So what I'm saying is we don't do a lot of jams and jelly. I just don't do it anymore. I used to. Um, but between how little we eat and what my daughter makes and gives to us, um, yeah, I don't need to make it. In fact, she was begging um, jam and jelly jars. I told her I would look into it. That was one of the things I was doing yesterday was going through. Oh my gosh, I still have a ton of quart jars, boxes of quart jars because I have really cut back. I used to can tomatoes, tomato juice, green beans, corn, um, and I don't do that anymore. But for the two of us, we don't garden like that. Um, we eat fresh, whatever we get out of the garden, and that's it. So, anyway, I have a ton of quart jars that I haven't really decided whether to pass them on or not. What to do with them. I have some pretty cool books that I collected over the years for preserving foods, and some of them are true homesteader kind of books where you're butchering your own meat and that sort of thing. Of course, that's pretty much just of general interest and reference for me. Um, but there are two canning that I tend to go to. One's called Preserving the Fruits of the Earth because it's more than just fruit, and the other is the standard ball. In fact, I wore one of those out and I had to get another one, and I didn't like the old one the way that I liked the new one, but couldn't do anything about it. The other one just sort of disintegrated, fell apart. But you know, the only thing I really check is how long in the water bath, or I do have a pressure canner. It has been a long time since I've used that because the fruits are pretty good with water bath, but the pressure canner is for the tomatoes and the green beans and the things that came out of the garden more. So I haven't used the pressure canner anymore. If I did use it, I would probably order a new seal just to be on the safe side. That was always way, way back before the days of Twitch and even posting video on YouTube or anything like that. But that would have been a great video because it was big enough to hold 7 quart jars, and it had the weight on the steam valve on the top, and you had to, in order to reach the right temperature for what you were canning, you had to get it so that the weight on the steam valve was rattling, but not a lot, right? Just a nice steady letting the steam off rattle. That was how you had to gauge. Otherwise, you'd get it too hot, and you could blow that steam valve. Anyway, I don't know. My family used to tend to say, "Oh, we're leaving the house right now." Like they didn't trust the steam canner. I used to enter uh, jams or jellies in the state fair. Didn't enter. I may have entered applesauce or something once or twice, but and I know I have entered peaches in the past, but I stuck with the jams and jellies pretty much because to judge it, they open it and they make it stay there for 2 weeks at room temperature. So you never went back for it. So you basically, whatever you took to the state fair, you weren't getting back to eat. And I didn't really want to lose, especially peaches, you know. But didn't mind losing a jar of jam or jelly. Did pear preserves a couple times. That was interesting because you it's just, oh my gosh, it is super, super, super sweet because you cook them in this sugar syrup until they're just nothing but clear bits of pear in this really, really, really thick sugar syrup so that you can, it needs to be, it can't be liquid, right? It's supposed to be pretty much set like a jam or jelly. And uh, hubby's mom used to talk about how her mom made pear preserves and how she loved those pear preserves. So I tried a couple times. You know, we had more fruit trees in the past 20 years, the earlier part of hubby and I's marriage, um, where I had pears and peaches and some. The orchard is just not was not made to grow forever because they were what they call dwarf or semi-dwarf trees. They don't have long life. But anyway, I was getting fruit then, and I tried the pears, but she just was like, "I'm sorry, that's just not what I remember," which either is because she's, you know, she was a kid and she doesn't remember, or I wasn't making them the way her mom was, which whatever that was. There could be, she was from down south. There could be a different definition of preserve, right? To that. It's hard telling. And she was not a canner or jelly maker or anything. So, you know, she couldn't tell me why. I don't think she liked it because it was so sweet. I was just following the directions in the books that I had. Although I don't know why on the second year I didn't cut back on the sugar. Maybe I did. I don't really remember. I will say that was the best on um, homemade bread. Oh man, that was good. Peach preserves. That was just awesome. It also was really good to put between. You know how you make a pie and you have leftover pie dough and you roll it out and you stick a little bit of dab of jam or jelly or something in there and make a tart, a kid's tart. That was very good in that too. All right, I have a little bit left here. I need to wrap off on my hand. This little bit of fiber and the other one I showed you are the last of the fiber exchange that I did this last fall, where you sent 8 ounces and most people send an ounce of 8 different things. This is the very last of that. This fiber. I did this yesterday. It got caught on my rings. Ring rolls around. Stone is down towards the bottom, towards my palm. All right, I'll skein this off and that'll be 4 bobbins free. That's pretty good. Do the other 2, skein the other 2 off stream, not on stream. So hubby is very graciously minding supper tonight, which is a roast. And that sounds funny. You'd say, well, why does an oven meal need minding? Because it's when I put a roast in the oven, I put the potatoes right in at the same time. He is of a mind that you cook the roast for an hour, hour and a half, and then you put the potatoes in so that they're not like mush, right? Hello, zombie. How you doing, Veggie? Veggie. Good to see you. Are you tired of Tour de Fleece yet? I am. But I will say this, I am getting so much spinning done. I'm very pleased with that. It's something I needed to do, and also need to continue. All right, I'm going to be counting this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Aw, 39 yards. Why couldn't it be 40? But that's going to be a really nice little mini skein. I'll show it on the other camera. You know, for sock madness or all sorts of things. 39 yards. Both yes and no. Oh, I almost hit the monitor off button again. Why do they put it right there where your hand is, underneath? All right, this is green. Can't write. I gotta put this down. Ashford. No, yeah, Ashford. I think it was merino. I'll have to check that. 39 yards. And that came from, oh, the name slipped my mind. Birdie Mom. Birdie Mom Exchange. Okay. Of course, my light's not real good on this camera, but here we go. Isn't that pretty green? Christmas! Christmas green. Be here before you know it. Been looking at some catalogs for some stuff, but I haven't had much luck yet. I didn't buy anything. Oh, I didn't buy anything special for Amazon Prime. I did put an order in because I pretty much had stuff in my cart that I was going to order anyway. All right. Thank you, Kay. It's Veggie. Jinx 123. You both said the same thing. Okay. Now we got to figure out what to do with this. I have a compacted fiber. It's, oh, you can't see that. Manos throws soda. Is that what yours is? I was just going to say, everybody has something different. When somebody says that, and hubby will say it to me, but I never know what. I mean, there's, that's just all he does. Is says it. Right? All right, let's open this up. Unfortunately, this is just like super compacted. So we're going to draft the heck out of it. Pretty colors. It's supposed to be extra fine merino. It is super soft. It is definitely soft, which is probably why it compacted. Somebody looked at it cross-eyed. Hi, Knitter. How are you? Happy Sunday. Hope you're having a good weekend. It's like it's not so much compacted as just kind of rolled. You know, like they rolled it all this way so they could make a nice braid out of it. It's all squished under each other. So it might not have happened during the dyeing process. You know, it could have been just how they processed the roving. Although I don't like the felted feel to it, unfortunately. I hope this isn't wasted, lost cause. For there's only 1 ounce. Like I said, this was another part of the exchange that from last fall, so I had put off trying to mess with it. I like the colors. That's interesting. I pull on it and oops, start out with narrow and end up with very wide. Let's see what happens when I do this. That's what I thought. Okay. That did not go well. I'm going to end up with little bits here, unfortunately. There's going to be a lot. It depends how thin it spins, but there's going to be a lot. Uh, Depending on how it spins. Boy. giving me this break right where the staple length is. Okay, we have an ad because that was an hour long. Sorry about that. Just a minute. We'll go back to.
What if I told you that I've made over $80 million all from something called digital real estate on my laptop? And digital real estate costs nearly.
Oh, there we go. I have found and have been using the music from Showhop, which has been, I have not gotten any mutes. I'm hoping Twitch never finds out about it. And YouTube, I don't worry about as much. I do upload them to YouTube, but not every single one. And, you know, I'm not as worried about YouTube. I've never gotten a mute from YouTube, but I'm not going to say it's never going to happen. Okay, it's doable. Like I said, the actual, once you get it unrolled, the actual fiber isn't matted or felted. It's spinning really nice. It's just, I have to take small widths of the strips, I think, in order to get it to draft nice. Because it's drafting real thin now. With an exception of right there. Typical merino. Reminds me of the fiber I was doing Thursday night, although those were little bits and pieces from the fat fiber collection, so it just happens to be the same dye job. I love this blue. I call it cornflower blue because that's what my dye calls it. But I don't know what they used. It's just that's what it looks like. It looks like cornflowers, not the corn you eat, but I think because they so often grow as a weed in cornfields, they call them cornflowers. That's the country term I've always heard them called. I don't know what they really are. We have soybeans in our fields this year. The farmer we rent our land to is growing soybeans in the whole valley. Hubby was pointing that out as we were driving to town the other day, and I said, "Are you seeing our valley's full of beans?" Because it is. But that sort of makes sense. If he's farming multiple acres in various places, he's going to farm the same thing. And they do rotate year after year in these fields that they use and rent. Whew. Stretch break. I can always tell when it's been about an hour. Now I'm starting to feel like I could use a nap. I know lots of people have been saying Manus is terrible as far as matting, felting. I know exactly what they're talking about here. It is not very good. For drafting. Hmm. Okay. Boy, I'll tell you what. Peaky fiber. Oh, what am I going to ply this with? Maybe I'll chain ply it. I just realized that I hadn't divided it. Oh, I got ahead of myself. I guess I'll just spin it all in one bobbin and chain ply it. Have another 50-yard skein. I'm missing knitting. This is going to be my only spinning for today, though. Whatever I get spun here. Oh, wow. That's a big clump. Didn't spread out well. Besides, I don't think this would self-ply on itself very nice. I don't know. Sometimes you do braids like this and self-play it back on itself. That complexity is really pretty cool. that you get because there's the colors hitting in so many places, right? With combinations, so many combinations. Well, hello. Is it Fawen? Fawen? Or Faye? I think I'll call you Faye, but you can correct me. Welcome. I don't mind lurks at all, but I'm glad you said hello. Oh, you've been feeling the same about Turtle Fleece. That's what you're. Yeah, I know. So you went back to knitting a little. I considered I might do that tonight. Just a little bit on a scarf that I've been knitting on. I cleaned up around my knitting area and I found my good earphones. I've been looking for them forever. It's like, oh, look, there they are. Which makes sense because the last I used them, we were traveling. I put them in my knitting bag and forgot I put them there. Faywin, okay. As I was saying earlier, I really, really love the fact I'm getting lots done, and I have not gotten them photographed and put on Discord like I wanted to. I've been posting once a day on the Twitch team for Spin Every Day. Boy, this is getting real thin. I need a little extra here. I don't want it that thin. But on my Discord, a lot of times I try to post the skeins of yarn, and I haven't done that yet at all. So that'll be a nice picture, or probably a bunch of pictures. I finally get them taken. Oh, you finally want to get back to knitting. Oh, you've are you a new spinner? Or sometimes when you are just learning, it's like I don't want to stop. Look at those pretty colors, though. Oh, you can't see them as good as the camera isn't. They are just so pretty. They're different blues and purples. This is gonna chain ply nice. Being this productive with spinning is a lot of work. Yes, I agree. My arms ache in a little different way than they usually do from all the plying I did yesterday, which is weird but true, and of course that I overdid with the treadle on my knee, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with the electric for the rest of the tour, unless I get my Aura treadle's easier. It's a double treadle. I don't have as much trouble with my knees with that one. So anyway, and I did sign up with the Twitch team to spin every day. I mean, not that the prize is significant, but for that reason, I am going to continue and spin a little something every day, but I probably am going to stop on the big push. I still have 40 bats, 2 different fibers that I have processed and need to be spun. But I got time. I got the you know, I can continue to work on it. I'm not pushing myself to do it just for the tour. Veggie says, I love the colors you're spinning right now. I do too. It just looks better on the bobbin than it did on the skein, on the fiber. Surprises me. You've been spinning since 2019, but it's become an obsession lately and you need to change it up. And thank you. Thank you very much. Faye, I appreciate that. I get to spinning natural colors a lot, or lately I've had a whole bunch of black walnut dyed, and it's pretty browns, but they're brown, right? It's a lot of fun to be able to spin some color. Well, as much as I spin, because I stream 3 times a week and I always, pretty much always spin on the stream. As much as I spin, it still seems like way, way, way more to spin every day. But I went way beyond that. Like I spun all day yesterday in between the cleaning breaks. I went back and forth between that and cleaning to get all that plying done. This is the what I also have to skein off. It's plied already. I have to skein it off. But I don't want to do it on stream because, you got to count. This is Rambouillet. And that's a join. That's so messy in there. But it's, Rambouillet is a merino, so it's going to puff up some. And it's real, real squishy, right? Real soft. It's almost cottony. I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly how to say it. It doesn't feel like wool as much as it does. Almost feels like a cotton. But that's a 2-ply, and I spun that on my Ashford with the woolly winder and the nice bobbins. And the Rambouillet was I bought the fleece and I washed it and then I sent it to a mill and they sent it back to me in a top, but it was more like a roving. It looked like top, but it was more like a roving because it had the shorter stuff in it. It had the little nubs in it. It had, because it was a raw fleece that they processed. It isn't a true top, commercially prepared top. In that they actually burn out with high heat all that, or sometimes a liquid that takes away every bit of vegetable matter, every bit of things that aren't smooth, and then they take it through super fine combs, right, and bring it on out through that. And so there is, when you spin true commercial top, there's nothing in it except the fiber, and it's glorious to spin. That's not what this Rambouillet was. It's a lot more rustic because it was a small commercial. It was a small mill doing it, and it was starting from a fleece. So when I say it feels cottony, what I'm really meaning is it's just got a few lumps and bumps, and it's not real fine. Not like you think sometimes merino and Rambouillet can be. It's going to be really nice. I probably will dye it. I had 4 balls of it, and ironically, 2 balls matched pretty good as far as being white, but the other 2 don't. I'm going to put the other 2 together as a 2-ply, but I imagine they're going to look a little grayish, kind of, even though they were from that white fleece. Because there's all sorts of different white colors on a fleece, even though it's a white fleece. I smell the roast. Oh man, it's making my tummy growl. Sunday supper's gonna be good. But after working all this morning on canning peaches, hubby and I started talking about just, since we're not gardening anymore, just, what we can get rid of and that sort of thing. And I don't know, it's hard to give it up, but it's best to be practical, especially if we're trying to downsize. We used to have great big arbor of grapes. We're down to, I think, 1 vine of that, and in another place on a different kind of wire arbor, some table grapes. That was something else I used to can all the time, was grape juice. And it was a very unusual way. It wasn't really, I learned it from my mom and grandma. And actually it was, my mom would do it, but she learned it from my dad's mom. Okay, so it was that grandma. And what you do is you take your Concord grapes. Of course, you wash them and pick them off the stem, and you put a cup of Concord grapes in a canning quart jar, and you put half a cup of sugar, and you fill it with boiling water, and you put that in a water bath canner. I think it was like 40 minutes, something like that. I have it written down. I don't remember off the top of my head. And you bring it out and you have grape juice. Now you don't have Welch's grape juice, right? You don't have a concentrate. You have it already diluted pretty much. And after I grew up more and got to be more of an adult and watching my weight and all that, I was like, I'm just drinking sugar water here. And but I did it for quite a few years, and then we finally stopped having enough grapes to really do anything with, and I finally stopped making it. We had orchard, and I would can cherries. They were not. I would put those in little jars that they were pie cherries, and I would have to make the pie filling, right? Take um, and make a sweet filling to go over the cherries. But if we could get them, they were the very first thing to come out in the orchard at fruit. And oh my gosh, the birds are like, we're starved. It's been all winter, right? And the higher the cherries got, the fewer we got. The more the cherry tree grew, the fewer cherries we got because it got too tall. And the birds could get it and we couldn't get it without the ladder. Both ends look square. Can't tell which end is the. Oh well. I haven't had a house husband for a while. He's been outside, working outside almost every day. Like I said at the very beginning, for us to get rain, I think it's been at least 3 weeks since we've had rain. And then it was overnight. Um, the few times that it rained, it was overnight. So he's been outside working almost nonstop for weeks. Alright, that didn't work well. Man, my oiling bottle is the outside of the bottle is really oily. Wipe it off later. Oh, you know, it's spinning oil, and I get it from the Woolery, and they just say spinning oil. It could be car oil, a lightweight car oil. They sell it in the big bottle that I have specifically for the Roberta, because a lot of the ones you get for spinning wheel has that really, really tiny tip so that you can get down into where you need to for the bobbin on the shaft, and the Roberta is completely different. I just need to oil this right here, which is a great big area, and trying to squeeze out right from that little droplet bottle. So they sell this specifically for this Roberta, and probably other spinning wheels that have the larger areas that a drop of oil is okay, right? I've heard some people say you can use sewing machine oil. I never have. So you know. Generally, when I'm buying oil, I'm buying the bottle, because I found that like this one here is refillable, but the ones that they sell with the really fine tip, I have to check, but I don't know if it's refillable or not. I have to take a look at mine and see if it screws off. I have never refilled it. I use that for the Ashford, and I use this big bottle for the this and the Ara. I have yet to oil the Nano. I don't oil the Nano. You looked at that one and you weren't sure what it was? Yeah. That's why I said I'm not 100% sure myself, but it's just a lightweight. I can tell it's just a lightweight oil. I just want, if you're saying you looked at the one from the Woolery like that is in my bottle that I just used, just be aware it's a big drop. If you're trying to have a very fine contained um, placement of the oil, go with the really fine spout. Don't get this one. It looks like I'm going to get half of this spun and the other half opened up, and then I'll probably be stop and stream. I don't want to run over too long. Oh, I put my popping on. There we go. I wonder if it's going to rain tomorrow too. We sure need it. Tomorrow is rest day for Turtle Fleece. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to do any spinning, but not 100% sure. Depends on what we do, what the day is. Last Monday I didn't take a rest day. But I think I only plied, but my plying didn't work out the same way this time. I have mosquito bites. They love me. I do spray myself, but I get kamikazed. I go out there or to just think I'm going to be out there for a little bit to say something to husband or husband. I get bit. And oh, I react so bad. I itch. A little bit of an allergy to them, I guess. I have a feeling, though, there hasn't been as many this year as normal because it's so dry. Can't find the area to breed, the water to breed in. All right, well, when I post tonight, I will post that, take a picture of this right here and post that I only got half done, spun half of it. I'm not going to count all the, well, the little bit of applying. I can post I applied the green too, but I don't know. I might come back and finish this up after supper. I just won't be on stream. That's a very good possibility, actually, because I feel like spinning after a day of working in the kitchen. So maybe that's what'll happen. Then I'll post the whole thing. I'll tell you, there is no rhyme or reason to how this is rolled. It really is. It's starting to gradually show splits here, and so I'm gonna get like 3. I didn't hear that song before. Must have been busy talking. With the people having words. Something about our house. Now, don't think we had that before. I must have flipped forward to another channel, another stream. They were each like an hour. I generally don't try to have vocals. Okay. These are ready to draft. And I'm going to do one more. Just because. I find it hard to stop. Wonder if there's anybody to raid. I'll take a look after I finish this. Why did you have to go all thick there? Yeah, it won't take me all that long to finish this up. I'll come back later this evening and finish it up. Well, I mean, it is only 1 ounce. It just seems like there's a lot on that bobbin for 1 ounce because sometimes it spins 1 ounce of a fiber spins a lot thicker than spinning thin. All right. Okay. Ah, it turned off. Oh, I might have needed that though. I turned off the music. And yes, I needed that for the Twitch. Well, my paleontologist is on. I love watching him. Playing in the Mud is on. What's Deliria doing today? Huh. Don't know. So wood burner. Hang on a minute. I'm going to see what Delara is doing. Gotta wait for the ads. Crocheting. Thank you so much, Faye. It's been great talking to you. It was nice to meet you, Veggie. Glad you stopped by. Kay, as always, good to see you. Play in the Mud or My Paleontologist. And I am not going to be watching. I got to go finish supper. So, Potter, Play in the Mud. I know you all have gone there before. Hopefully she's not just leaving. All right. We're going to raid Play in the Mud. There's no G on plane.
Looks like I will have enough to make around 50 of these.
Oh, it's play in, that's why. Mud. Plug my headphone in so I can hear. And one more thing.
All of these tonight or even tomorrow, I'll be put them in on. Definitely not tomorrow. We're going to a water park tomorrow. Rain or shine, we're getting out of here.
Sorry, it was something she said.
It's a reward for me meeting my goal.
All right, everybody. Oops, it didn't go. Oh, I have to hit enter. Take care, everybody. I'll see you on Tuesday morning. Bye.
What sort of weather are we having here? We're in southern Kentucky.